Well, everybody has their core strengths as an individual that they rely on, and I can get emotional at times, but I try and keep it in check and try and deal with the situation. That's just my personality, how I've always done it. Give direction, be firm, don't get out of whack, get out of character type of thing. And I think in coaching, oftentimes in coaching, everybody looks at a script of a coach and say, at this moment, the coach is, what did he say in the dressing room after the first period? And those types of things. And most coaches will tell you that it's not some song and dance, or it's not some standing on a soapbox. It's about the details and the structure and sticking to habits. And every once in a while, you have to go out of character, though. Every once in a while, whether it's with an individual or with a team, to keep them sharp, to keep them on their toes. But you've got to stay within who you are.
Coach, we were talking to Patrick, and he was talking about a lack of confidence right now, and he says teams go through that sometimes. Is it as simple as getting an early lead, winning a game to build that confidence back up? And you mentioned staying in character.
Yeah.
Can guys, if they're maybe feeling a lack of confidence, get out of character and try and do too much?
Yeah, what happens with lack of confidence is you have to build on small things. So a player who's not scoring, first he has to get shots. He has to get touches around the net. Okay, those are the first things that he has to do. Don't worry about scoring goals. The odds are if you get 10 shots, you're going to get 1 goal. Those are the odds. No goaltender's better than that. So there's steps that you have to do when you're talking about confidence, that a player needs to focus on something different than an end result. A goaltender is the same type of thing. They can't focus on how many goals have gone in. They've got to focus on what they're doing and how they're playing their shots and their rebound control, things that they can constructively deal with. And that's the same for our offense. We've got to do that same thing.
Coach, can you talk about your schedule down the stretch here? I think only 2 of your games left are against teams that are currently in the playoffs, and the challenge of that mentally, emotionally, whatever you want to call it, going up against teams that are out of it, that maybe you're playing a different style than maybe you'd want to play right now. Maybe you'd want to play a team like the Islanders and the Rangers and Tampa and Montreal down the stretch.
Well, it's certainly different when you're playing teams that are scratching and clawing for points and sort of desperate to move up in the standings than playing a team that's out. The team that's out, as we talk about with our team, is they're doing 2 things. One is they're impressing their coaches and management for next year, and they play a style that is a little bit more, I'm not going to say carefree, because Carolina played with a lot of structure last night, but a little bit calmer. Because they're not squeezing things and looking ahead. And it's all on what you focus on. And if you focus on the end result, that's challenging. If you focus on the process of what you're doing, shift to shift, how we start a game, how we play our first period, that's what we have to focus on. And the opponent is important right now, but for me, the big thing right now is our game individually and as a team.
2, if I may. No Steve Downey and Ehrhoff at practice. Just any update on them?
Yeah, Ehrhoff is still out with the upper body, and I don't anticipate he'll skate until probably next week sometime. And then Downs was just a maintenance day for him.
And compared to the first 2 months when scoring goals, a lot of shots on net, to now, is this team's identity different now than it was in October and November?
Our identity and the way the things we emphasize is not different. Certainly there were some different personnel if you look at the other night. So early in the year, when you talk about the first 2 months, we still had Mata and Dupuis and Gino and Hornquist and Ehrhoff. Those guys are big parts of what we do and what we generate. So sometimes with the dynamics of players in and out of your lineup, your team may look a little bit different from night to night, but the staples of how we play and the way we want to play, our identity, as you're talking about, is still the same. It may not come out as much as it has at certain times. And I look at, I've taken a lot of pride in our team and how they played in those tight games in the last month. I thought we've done a good job in tight games. Some games we've lost 1-0 or they score an empty net goal, but I feel we played well. Those are confidence builders for our group, because I still believe that all those playoff games, it's going to be hard to score. It's going to be tight games. Certainly we want to score more, but we have to focus on the process of scoring more.
Mike, this kind of goes off what you're saying, but in the past month, there was favorable, I don't know, analytical numbers or advanced stats numbers, is there a certain message you have to sort of get through to the guys about trusting the process, that what you're doing may be working, it's just the results aren't there?
Well, there always is, and you go back on your coaching experience, and I remember times as a coach where it seemed like we were in a funk and we couldn't get out of it, and then all of a sudden, boom, the next game you start to turn the corner and it spirals the other way. And we've seen it happen to our team this year. We've seen it happen to other teams in the league. You look from sport to sport, and it's about, now with our team, it's about how we play, what we're doing tomorrow in the first period against Arizona. Those are the key things. We can't look too far ahead. So anytime you get in one of these situations, you can't be looking ahead and you can't be focused on the wrong things.
Coach, I was right here.
Oh, sorry.
Just curious what your goaltending rotation is going to be this weekend. Will it be Flower or Grice tomorrow?
We're going to play Greiser tomorrow and Flower on Sunday.
Hi, Mike. Malkin and Hornquist, are they two people rejoining the lineup that could give you that spark that you mentioned? And do you have a prognosis on if we'll see them this weekend?
Well, they took the battle drills today, as you saw in practice. They took the whole practice plus some extra battle drills at the end. And so I would assume that the trainers will give us a feedback right away here as to where they think they are. And there'll probably be a game time decision, but they're really close. They're both really close. Now, what are they going to do to our lineup? Certainly, they're a big part of us generating. Both guys, Gino can do a lot on his own, and I thought that Gino and Cooney and Combs were a good line, really good line there for a stretch. And Patrick, he's our net front guy. He creates a lot of action in the crease, and that's what we need right now. We need more of that from more players.